Ladies and gentlemen, episode 2 of the DraftKings latest podcast, Baseball is Dead, hosted by Jared Carabas, live right meow. Jared and friends taking a look back at the start of the season. Plus, they dissect some of the bad blood between players and teams that highlighted a drama-filled opening weekend. Go download it, please, wherever you get your podcasts. You can get them like everywhere these days.
Yeah, you can get those podcasts anywhere. You can listen to them anywhere.
You really can.
On the gym, on a walk with your dogs, whatever you want.
You know what? So I know that Jared and the boys were talking about some bad blood. A lot of people this morning have been talking about what the hell went down between like the Mets.
Oh yeah, there was that bet,
yeah, Mets and the
notable
Phillies.
Bet, $100K on the Mets money line, plus 130 to pay $230K.
Okay.
Philly then scored 5 runs in the 8th to make this a bad beat.
Yeah, because you had the Mets that were up 4-0.
Yeah.
Mets were up 4-0. And Philly's like, right, we'll just score 5 in the 8th and go ahead and win it. So that's a bad beat. That is unfortunate. What is fortunate, though, is we have 2 of the best here within our company now joining us right now. Steve Buchanan, Garion Thorne. Hello, everybody. Steve, you look very happy. How are you?
Hold on. We want to talk about a bad beat last night. How about the Rangers and the Rockies? Whatever that was, that the illegal slide into second base.
Oh, my God, yes.
Get out of here with that crap, okay? That was a bad beat. If you think the Mets are going to hold the lead at any point in this season, that's not a bad beat. That's normal. A bad beat was Rangers-Rockies last night. That was a bad beat.
You know, that was technically the right call. It's just a bad rule.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Nope.
Nope. All right. Yes, it was.
Nope.
So, all right, wow, you're already putting up your Buchs, which is, you're already...
What about putting up your butt in the...
Oh!
Yeah.
My God. Steve, did you see that?
Did you see that?
Who was that on the A's right off the...
Sean Murphy.
Yeah.
Sean Murphy, yeah. He's been working on that butt, I'll tell you.
I tell you, the control he has over that gluteus maximus, he just popped it away. That was crazy.
Garion, he does not skip like leg day and lunges. Like
you can
lunges
say butt day. There's such thing as butt day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've said much worse.
No, I'm just saying like squats and stuff.
Yes.
Like there's butt day.
Squats get your glutes, too. Let's get to put up your Buchs. Steve, you pick your favorite plays on tonight's slate. Garion, either you agree or pivot. Who's your favorite pitcher, Steve?
Yeah, I'm sure everybody has a really good understanding of this segment after the great job you guys did of explaining it. But Garion and I will go through the segment, and hopefully you'll catch up as we go along. Jesus Luzardo going tonight for the Marlins up against the Angels. Coming off a really strong spring. Look at this guy. He can't even control himself. Walking around. Can't even listen. Jesus Luzardo coming off a really nice spring training. 11 2/3 inning, .77 ERA, 1.03 whip, and a 10-3 strikeout to walk rate. We have an Angels team that is not going to be particularly strong against lefties. On a normal basis, this team is running out 4 to 5 lefties when they're facing right-handed pitching. So they're going to have to go to some of their bench players when they are facing lefties. Now, I know Luzardo had some brutal numbers last year, but this kid obviously has a lot of talent. He came through the Oakland system, which means once you are, up in the majors, they ship you off. They don't want to keep anybody. That's how it is as an Oakland A. But, Luzardo induces a lot of ground balls. This Angels team has the potential to strike out a lot. So on a slate that really doesn't have a lot of strong pitching options, I think going down the board to Luzardo isn't the worst move you can make tonight.
All right, what do you want to do here, Garion? You going to put up your Buchs? You going to fight him?
Well, as we all know, going back to last season, let's just refresh. I never tie in this segment. That is Nick Fryer territory. That is not something that I do.
Total loser.
Tough because Steve and I often have the exact same. We share a brain usually when it comes to baseball. And I have written up Jesus Luzardo as my value pitcher over on the DK playbook for MLB targets for tonight's 9-game slate, if anyone wants to go check that out. But thankfully, Steve, who assigns my articles, has me write up 2 pitchers. So I will just go with the other pitcher. As he mentioned, this is like one of my favorite slates of the year. We only get it once, but it's most teams' 5th game, which means pretty much across the board, we are getting everyone's worst starting pitcher. It is a glorious night of DFS baseball, but a couple guys kind of fall through the cracks, and one of those dudes is Darvish. And look, it's boring to take the most expensive pitcher on the slate most nights. This is a night where boring is at a premium. I mean, Darvish, not a boring guy by any means. He's coming off 6 no-hit innings in his first start of the season. But I think the key thing with Darvish is just he threw 92 pitches his last time out. Darvish is about the only person I can guarantee who can throw 100 pitches on tonight's slate, because most of these guys, again, are either bad or they are making their first start of the season. I mean, Andrew Heaney is the 4th most expensive starter on this slate. Whenever you get a slate like that, just take a layup like Darvish and be happy, and probably use Jesus Luzardo as your second pitcher.
Okay.
Okay. Steve, how about the infielder that you're going to be going with here?
Yeah, we're going to go with Ozzie Albies at 4,700, going up one of my most favorite guys to target against, which is Patrick Corbin. All that guy does is give souvenirs to the fans because opposing batters are knocking it out of the park every time he takes the mound. Now we have Albies, who was excellent against lefties last season. 393 WOBA, 262 isolated power, and a 144 WRC plus against them. That isolated power got even better at home last year. 302 on the year. Patrick Corbin had a decent start by his standards, and during opening day, 2 runs on 4 hits. I think he made it through 4 innings. Congratulations. Hard-earned money right there for him. That was a great start. But now you have a much stronger offense going up against the Braves. They really do hit lefties well. That's going to be a tough lineup to get through, and all these hitting near the top of that lineup should pay off at 4,700 tonight.
All right, Steve, making a compelling case for Ozzie Albies.
Oh, you have him in your article, Garion, today. You cannot push back on this now. Otherwise, you'd be a fraud.
No,
Like
I won't push back. I'll just pivot.
Okay.
I'll say that I'm also, as much as I like Ozzie Albies, I would probably prefer to use someone with a little bit more pop. And that would be Josh Donaldson, who I'm really feeling the Yankees lineup tonight. They were shut out last night, so maybe even in tournaments, you're going to get a couple people a little wary of that lineup. But Yusei Kikuchi was just absolutely destroyed by right-handed bats the final 3 months of last season. Righties combined for an 588 slugging percentage, a 423 WOBA against Kikuchi in that 3-month span last season. And he's going up against a lineup that just doesn't have good right-handed hitters. They have generational right-handed power hitters in Donaldson, Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton. And you're getting pretty good value, I think, with Donaldson at under 5K. He hasn't gotten off to the hottest start in 2022, but the contact numbers were off the charts last season. This guy can still swing the bat, and he's hitting leadoff right now for the Yankees. So 5 plate appearances is probably pretty guaranteed in this contest against Kikuchi, who I just don't think is going to last very long in this game. So I think the top part of that Yankees order is really a situation you want to exploit tonight.
Steven, take us to outfield. Who's your guy tonight?
Yeah, Dylan Carlson at 4,400. You don't have to pay all this salary for a stud outfielder tonight. Already in the early going of this season, 4 for 10, 2 doubles, couple RBIs, a stolen base. All of that is going to lead to some really high fantasy output. Tonight, he's facing Daniel Lynch, who all he did during spring training was copy Patrick Corbin and give up a ton of bombs. 4 home runs pitched. Everybody pitched 5 innings in spring training. How did you give up 4 home runs already? If that is something we're going to see all season long, it's going to be a long season for Mr. Lynch. This is a contact pitcher, strikes out less than a batter an inning, shaky with his command. And then you have Dylan Carlson, who is a switch hitter at the top of that Cardinals lineup when he's facing lefties. Since his call-up last year, 382 WOBA, 179 isolated power, and a 143, I love you too, WRC plus. Carlson at 4,400. That's your guy at outfield tonight.
All right, Garion, you agree here? You're going to pivot? I can tell you the Royals are allowing opponents to hit 308 this season. 27 runs given up in the last 2 games, too, which is not great.
To the Guardians.
Yeah, this is it's a pretty nice spot for Carlson, and you always want to use him, as Steve was mentioning, against left-handed pitching when you can. Another guy you just want to use whenever he is facing a left-handed pitcher, regardless of who that pitcher is Teoscar Hernandez, who is massively underpriced at just $4,600. He's going up against Nestor Cortez, who had a really, really great run last season, transitioning from the Yankees bullpen into their rotation in an emergency situation, but sort of blew up towards the tail end of that. There's a reason he's the 5th starter for the Yankees and not the 3rd starter for the Yankees. I don't think Hernandez is going to be scared of this left-handed pitcher, nor should he be afraid of any left-handed pitcher. You look back to last season among qualified hitters, he was first in OPS against lefties. He was first in WRC plus against lefties. He was second in isolated power at 372 against left-handed pitching, and his expected WOBA was also the third best qualified mark in baseball within the split. Anytime the Jays are facing a left-handed pitcher, you want to get Teoscar Hernandez into a lineup, especially, again, if he is just like criminally underpriced below $5,000.
All right, let's talk about some value here. Steve, where are you going to go here?
You want to talk about somebody that's underpriced, not overpriced. Overpriced would be insane. Underpriced. Trey Mancini at 2,900 tonight is laughable, especially when he's going up against a lefty. Eric Lauer gives up a lot of fly balls. He's someone that can lose his command quickly and has a K9 of 7.2. So he's mainly relying on contact to get outs. Not going to get a lot of outs, especially when he's going up against Mancini, who had his best numbers of the year, really throughout his career. Against lefties, 247 ISO last year, 140 WRC plus. Against lefties, I know you want to pay up at the first base position, but at 2,900, somebody with some decent pop in this matchup, it's almost too good to pass up as a value play. Helps you jam in some of those more expensive guys that we've talked about earlier in the show. Mancini, 2,900, that's just criminally too low in price.
Well. Trey Mancini also written up in Garion's article.
What? Look at this.
He said it's weird to see the veteran with a price tag below $3K.
Wow.
Did say that.
Yep.
But again, I do not push on this segment, so we will go to another person I wrote up this morning, Brad Miller. This Texas team is implied for over 6 runs. They have the highest implied run total on tonight's slate, and the reason for that is Chad Kuhl, who, yes, this game isn't in Colorado, but guess where it's not, because he doesn't pitch for the Pirates anymore. It's not in PNC, which was the only place where Chad Kuhl could pitch without getting absolutely destroyed. This guy had a 7.32 ERA on the road last season. He's a righty who cannot get left-handed bats out, and Brad Miller has been fantastic, not just this season, but even last season against right-handed pitching. He had a 842 OPS when he was still playing with the Phillies. There's a reason the Rangers signed this guy and immediately stuck him on top of their lineup when they are facing a right-handed pitcher. So Miller is just $3,400, and the versatility he gives you by being able to play him at either third base or any of those outfield slots, that's an amazing asset to have with one of these value plays, because he can really make a lot of things work with that versatility.
All right, Steve, let's get you guys out of here quick on this one. Sportsbook bet. You're looking at some Rangers revenge, possibly?
Yeah, I mean, Gary was just talking about Chad, anything but cool, taking the mound tonight. Rangers team total going over 5.5 runs. They would have went over their team total last night, but I think somebody breathed on the second base and they said, oh, no, you can't do that. The game's over now. That's not going to happen tonight. The Rangers are going to be angry, and they're going to get to Chad Kuhl early and often. Give me over 5.5 runs for a lot of the reasons Gary just laid out.
All right, Gary Bear, you're obviously on board with that.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I would also look at Dodgers money line here. They're just minus 135 as road favorites against the Twins. I know Andrew Heaney is pitching for the Dodgers, but Chris Archer is pitching for the Twins. This is like a complete wash for me. I'm just going to take the better team at a relatively low price tag. Give me the Dodgers money line.